Show you what we got. A little fair of Redwood Smoke Shack. Look at that platter. Oh my goodness. We're going to start with the most boring things here, our pickle goodies. Pickles, pickled red onions, pickled jalapenos. Then we're going to roll into our big ass beef rib. That's our Saturday special. Super unctuous, just super fatty. Look at that. I mean, look at, oh my God. Over here we have our half chicken, smoked and then fried. And then we hit it with our butt rub. And what I like to do is I like to hit it with the Alabama white sauce, right? Shout out to Big Bob Gibson. That's kind of how I envision they doing it. Down here, covered up in all this stuff, is our moist brisket. And there's lean brisket in there too. It's just you can't see it. We got our pork spare ribs. Brisket burn ends right here. It's little cubes of goodness. Look at those. Cubes of goodness. Underneath all this, we got some pulled pork. Again, it's not the star of the show. It's delicious, but it's just hiding. It's a little shy. Pork belly burn ends. House-made gochujang glaze. Twice smoked pork belly burn ends. Sesame seed, green onion. We go into over here, oxtails. Friday specials. We got 2 of them here. Just delicious, delicious product. Another one down here. This one's got is a little bit nicer in size. Look at that bad boy. Delicious. We'll put that back. And then, of course, we cannot forget house-made sausages. We got a jalapeno cheddar and a garlic green onion. We'll tuck those in there. So that's the meat portion of this tray. Then we come over here to our sides, right? Supporting cast. We got our smoked turkey collard greens. We got our pit smoked beans. We got our Cooper's Sharp mac and cheese. We got our corn pudding. Gotta keep it fresh, right? We got cilantro coleslaw. And then the banana masu, the little love child of tiramisu and banana pudding. Why not? Why not? Why not? Just for shits and giggles, guys. That's why, right? Do you need all this food? No. But when my hands suck together, look at that. That's that gelatin from that oxtail. Oh my goodness, that's how you know it was made well. So I don't even know where to begin on what I'm gonna eat. Where would you guys start on a tray like this?
Beef ribs up there?
That's a big ass beef rib. You'd start with the. Have you had our beef rib?
I do. I get a little mac and cheese and then go for the rib.
Oh really?
Well, straight rib first.
Beef rib first, he says. I think we're gonna have to go in on the beef rib. Why not, right? Look at this bad boy. Look at that. Does that not look amazing? We're just gonna take a bite. Why not? That's like butter, man. Wow. Woo! That's just so rich. What I want to do, I'm gonna eat this burnt end so I can get to my brisket. Tough life, somebody's gotta do it. Actually, my man, you want one too? That's just a burnt end, beef.
Beef? Oh yeah.
Just a beef burnt end.
My man.
I'm just trying to get to the brisket, my man. Just put that down for a second. Move this aside. We're gonna grab a piece of moist brisket. So, oh, there we go. Look at that. I mean, it is delicious, guys. Nice fat content, nice rendered bark. Upper 50% prime grade beef right here. This ain't no select, this ain't no choice. And this is really nothing that anybody else here in Virginia can get because, I mean, we are the only ones that get this. So I'm gonna take a bite of this too. What's going on, guys? Man. Okay, so that's the brisket. Get over here. Take a bite. Come on, come get a burn end. This is a group effort. You want a pork belly burn end or you want a brisket burn end, my man? You mind being on a little Instagram video? Okay, what's your name?
Chase.
Okay, have you been here before, Chase?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. What haven't you had before?
I've only had the brisket sandwich.
That's all you've had?
All I've had.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I took a bite out of that side. You want a bite out of a big ass beef rib?
I don't know. I think that.
You want a brisket burn end? Take that one right on top, my man. I'm really kind of wanting a bite of the oxtail. So we're just gonna, I don't even know what to say. I'm gonna be full. What do you think, man? Anything else you want to try?
I'm good. I gotta save room for when I order.
You get up there, get in line, okay?
Thank you.
Oxtails and half chickens have become my favorite protein. I mean, I'll take a bite of the other stuff here and there, but those are the things that I jump in at now. I don't even know. I really want to try.
That's what I was going to say.
Ready?
Snap one and
You want to snap that? Bam.
Yeah.
Look at that. Jalapeno cheddar sausage. Whoa. Man. Slap me. Just slap me. It's that good. I can't feel it. You want a piece? You want to come over and help me? Everybody's so timid. James, I gotta say, jalapeno cheddar sausage is for the win, brother.
It's delicious.
For the win.
It was my favorite before.
Is it?
Yeah, it was. I used to always get it.
But what I want to do, like I said, I mean, our chicken is delicious. Look at that. Look at that thigh pull right off that bad boy. Dip it a little bit in here. Maybe give it a little bit more of this. Oh. And then we just dive in. I gotta have another bite of that. I can't just let that sit there. Wow. Oh. And one more thing I gotta have. Pork spare rib. All natural prairie fresh pork. Smoked. Hit with our rib glaze. What's going on with that music? Is that a remix? We're just gonna get a bite of that. Look at that. Look at that bite through.
Always, right off the bone.
Man. Yeah? Come on over. You sure? Okay. Wow. That's delicious. Well, hope y'all out there in Kevin Kelly land enjoyed the pit tour, the restaurant tour of Redwood Smoke Shack. Come on, get you some. 3 locations. Virginia, Norfolk, Suffolk, and Virginia Beach. Come out, support. We love you guys. Peace. My name is Bob Roberts. I am the owner, operator, and sure, you can call me Pitmaster. We are Redwood Smoke Shack here in Hampton Roads, Virginia. We're gonna take you inside of our new location in Suffolk, Virginia. We have 3 locations. We started the first one in 2019, second one in 2021, and now we're here, 2025, we opened this location. So come on in. First thing you come into in each location is going to be our pin map. We want to know where you're from. So this is the homeland right here. I wish I were from here, but I actually grew up way up here. I am this orange one right there. That's where I grew up, Hartford, New York. And then I made my way to Virginia back in 2009, working for a hospitality company, running the food service at a local university. So Virginia is now where I reside, and if you look over here on the wall, we are Texas inspired and Virginia made. Come in here, again, all locations are set up the same. We have that, and then we have our merchandise. So we have some different hats. You come out over here, we have different t-shirts, different designs, right? Because life's too short to eat shit barbecue. That's one of my favorites. No such thing as too much but. It's kind of been our motto since the food truck. If you feed them, they will come. And it's kind of worked out fairly well for us so far. We package our 3 rubs. It's our beef rub, our pork rub and our poultry rub, obviously. We actually use this product in-house. We sell our house barbecue sauce, tomato-based. So we have our flames and we have our W from the Redwood. A little history about the W. Everybody wonders why it has points on it, because we'll later on show you my food trailer that we started in, and it has 2 smokestacks on it with rain caps. So that exactly looks like the smokestacks. I started barbecue in 2016 out of my driveway when I was brewing a lot of beer. And I reached out online when I was trying to find a bigger smoker and asked a question on a Texas forum for Facebook of, hey, who out there knows how to utilize a oiler? Because I thought, hey, oiler was where I wanted to be. And if you guys want to go right ahead. And my buddy, John Brotherton, is the first one to reach out. And he gave me a call and talked to me for a little while. And from there, he put me in touch with Breck Weber with Tin Roof Barbecue. They're my Texas family. So with how friendly they were in inviting me down to stage at their restaurant for a week to see how oilers work and to see it all in a commercial setting was great. So I went down there back, I think the first time was 2019 maybe, 2018. And I've been back every year helping at the Houston Barbecue Festival. So, shout out to everyone down in Texas that's really shaped me along my path. Woo! Hey, where are you guys from?
Fort Worth.
Fort Worth. Where you got a true Texan up in Virginia. So, have you been with us before?
I have.
And what do you think?
I love it.
You love it? Feels like home, right?
It does.
Get some Big Red, a Lone Star, and then get some good brisket. You're good to go.
The Big Red is a great touch.
That's right. That's right. Awesome. Well, thank you. So we see people like that every day, and that's why we have a Texas belt. When we were on our food truck trying to teach people up here in Virginia what Texas barbecue was, we'd have a lot of customers saying, I'm from Texas. So it really started as almost a joke, and every one of our locations has that bell. So when you're from Texas, you ring that bell, ring it loud and proud. So let's talk about our menu, right? We use upper 50% prime grade beef, which is very costly in this day and age. But I'm a strong believer in quality in, quality out. So if I'm gonna spend 12 to 14 hours a day cooking a piece of meat, it better be the best quality I can afford. Here is you'll see our cutters. You got your assemblers, hot sides, cold sides, and then you got your cashier. How's that brisket?
Very good.
Awesome. Thank you for coming. Like that one lady said, the Big Red, right? So when I started this as a brick and mortar, Big Red was something that nobody in Virginia knew what it was. Every time I go to visit, I'm always drinking Lone Star and drinking Big Red and eating barbecue. So I figured we got to get that Lone Star. So this was another difficult thing to get up here in Virginia, and it's delicious. I just had one of our favorite pitchers. Every location has this pitcher also. That's my wife and I, Lindsay, in our food trailer back in 2017. And we always put a little note below it. Thank you for your continued support and loyalty to Redwood Smoke Shack. We still can't believe all this began with the thought of let's try to sell meat to the neighbors on a chilly April weekend in 2016 at the end of the driveway. And the rest is history, Bob and Lindsay. So it's been a wild ride. 10 years we've been selling barbecue, which is blows my mind. Every morning we fresh fry our pork rinds. We toss them in our butt rub. If you take a bag of this, in a container of this house-made pimento cheese, this is a marriage right here. If you've never had this before, you're cheating yourself. A couple other items in our grab and go over here. We do smoked chicken salad. The building that we're in right now used to be an old meat market, which I thought was pretty fitting considering all quality barbecue joints in Texas seem to always be old meat markets. So this used to be a meat market. It was called Bennett's Creek Farm Market. And their chicken salad was very popular, so we took their recipe and we just added our smoked chicken to it. We have beef tallow, our fat trimmings from our brisket, render it down, strain it, and then we have tubs of beef tallow for sale too. Every one of our desserts, everything but the pit cookie, so this has pretzels, caramel chips, coconut, chocolate chip, a little chocolate drizzle. This is made with beef tallow. Our carrot cake, our fudge brownies, made with beef tallow. The chocolate chip cookie is made with beef tallow also. All of those are made in-house. And we also have a banana masu, which is where banana pudding and tiramisu had a love child. That's our banana masu. That is world famous. I'm not even gonna lie. Not quite sure if you saw the cow on the roof. There was a cow on the roof before. We moved it and we painted it a bright orange. So we figured we had to have another cow inside. So we have Uncle Larry here, right? Same thing, steer, longhorn, we painted orange, mounted them on this wall. Something we're very proud of over here, Texas Monthly. Daniel Vaughn shouted us out on that top 50 outside of Texas list of 2024, I want to say it was. Very, very fortunate to be mentioned on that list amongst all of my friends and mentors. Here we got a small little dining room. We took the old Bennett's Creek Farm Market marquee sign and made it into a shadow box and put a light behind it. So of course, barbecue makes everything okayer. And these are all the best of awards we've won ever since we started back in 2017. Back to the graffiti that I like, Legends of Smoketown. These are all of mine and my wife's animals. And that's what our smokers are named after. So that's a little history of our smokers. We started the Norfolk location with Bubba and Daisy. So Bubba is a Bewley, right? Back to John Brotherton. John Brotherton was a big advocate of Bewley. So he convinced me that the Bewley 1100 extra wide like he had on a trailer was a good way to go to start a business. And he was not wrong. So without Bubba, right? And Bubba was my dog for 18 years. He was a Jack Russell Mountain Feist. Without Bubba and without Daisy, none of this would have been possible. So we have Daisy over here, who's a cocker pug. She was homely looking, and that's why we have a 500-gallon primitive pit was our first offset. So we had the Bewley and the primitive. And then you come over here to Stella. Stella was our next pit. That was a 1,000-gallon primitive. Our sausage production got so large that 50 pounds on at one time was slowing us down. So we got Stella. And then when we opened up this location, or when we were planning out our third location, we needed more firepower. So what we did is we contacted our friends down at M&M Barbecue Company, and we got 2 of their offsets. So these are the 1,000-gallon M&M offsets. So these are our cats, Frank and Beans. There's my lovely wife, Lindsay. And then we also bought their 1,000 rotisserie, and that's Woody. So Woody's our French Bulldog. So all of the smokers have names. Everybody refers to the smoker by their name. Come out here on our patio. Just painted this big giant Texas flag on the wall. We got some flags hanging up over here. We have our flame, so that's our logoed flag. We have the Texas flag. The Virginia flag it's windy today, but the Virginia flag's all wrapped up. And then of course, American flag. So a little bit more metal. We make all of our own sauces, like I was saying. So here's our house barbecue sauce. We have a Georgia mustard. We have a KP vinegar. Fun little story, KP. Everybody's like, what's KP's? Well, that KP is my old boss at my old job being a food broker. So Kerry Pritchard, he came in when we were doing some tests with some pulled pork for a manufacturer's little sales meeting. And he brought a sauce, so I kind of asked him if I could have the recipe. He sent it to me. KP, thank you for your Carolina-style vinegar sauce. And then we also have Alabama White, tailored after more of the Big Bob Gibson style. It's not super thick, it's very watery. It's made to put on top of the half chicken, to put on the pulled chicken. It's not gonna be a thick sauce, right? None of our sauces are really thick. Our house barbecue is gonna be the thickest sauce. So you can sit out here on a beautiful day, and you can watch everybody do their job. We got JD down there right now doing something. When you're here, ask to see how it all goes down. My pit team gets here at 2:30 in the morning. There we go. We got a guy with some Lone Star. He knows it.
What's up, brother?
How we doing, man?
Great.
Nice to see you. Don't spill that. Yeah, how have you been?
Great.
Good.
Wonderful.
Good. So come on in here. We'll show you around the pit room. So out here in the pit room, we have our 1,000-gallon primitive. We do sausages on this pit. Oh, actually, there's sausages on right now. So let's open these up. So this is 100 pounds of sausage. It looks like it's our house, our garlic and green onion. And what we do is we'll load up. We'll do 100 pounds of one, and then we'll do 100 pounds of another the next day. All handmade with trim. That is our prime grade brisket and our rib trim. Our sausage cook Cold smoke is about 5.5 hours long. We have different steps that we do throughout that process to get the casing snappy, like we were looking for. So right now it was sitting at about 150, so that tells me, if you come on over to this board, we are on Stella, 100 pounds a house, went on at 10:30. So we're about almost 4 hours in, so that's about right, where temperature-wise, where they're at. So they'll hold steady there. Small fire, cold smoke, and then what we're gonna do is when it hits that 100 and, your sweet spot of 150, nice and plump, nice and tight, we shock it in an ice bath, right? Put it right in that ice bath, Lexan water, and then we put them up on drying racks. Primitive pit, that's Stella. This here is an M&M. This one here is gonna be beans, and that one's gonna be Frank. And what I love about barbecue is that it's so customizable, right? So even like these smokers, we figured out what we like about them and what we don't like about them, so we changed it ourselves, right? So if you look at these smokers, M&M has this little turnstile thing for the damper. Well, I don't like that style, personally. But what we did is we tack welded it so we can use the door as a damper. And then we installed this little knockoff like Chud's Barbecue has. I feel we just get better airflow this way. And I could be wrong, it just works for us. So we have different notches here where we're gonna put that door to maintain that temperature we're looking for. These pits run at 250, like just close your eyes and it's just like, it's cruising, it's like a Cadillac. And 250 is the majority of our brisket cook. We start really low, sub 200, real dirty for about an hour, jump it up to 2 1/4, and we start building that process, building that bark, building that smoke flavor. We burn really clean fires. These 3 pits, very clean fires. This rotisserie, which is woody, it's an M&M. So our pork ribs go on here, our pork butts go on here, pork bellies for our burn ends. Let's look in here. It's kind of hard, come on over here so the grate's not there. We do our pork belly when we glaze it on the top rack, so that's why the rack will be in there. These are upper 50% prime grade briskets. They've been on since, 8 this morning. Bark is starting to set, starting to get the pooling. Right, we're gonna start pushing these together, consolidating them, getting away from that fire. They got about another 3-4 hours before we are going to wrap. So we really like the smaller briskets, right? The Elite Primes are a smaller brisket. Finish, you're looking at about 4.5 pounds finished, right? Very consistent, amazing marbling. And we are not in Texas, so people aren't coming here and saying, oh, everybody wants 2 pounds of brisket. So we have a lot of platters, the 1 meats, the 2 meats, the 3 meats. That might be 1/3 of a pound, it might be 1/4 of a pound, it might be 1/2 pound. So the small briskets allows us to have a fresher product because we go through that brisket faster. So this one right here is a pretty nice looking one. So we'll pull that out, right? Looking good, looking good. Bark's starting to set. Still got some time, There are some pastrami's on here, which we'll open up a couple of these pits and we'll find the pastrami's. We do pastrami every Saturday. We do big ass beef ribs every Saturday. And here's some sausages that were smoked yesterday. So what we're doing is we're panning these up right now. Right. So these were smoked yesterday. And the key part of it is the ice bath, but then you need to put them in the walk-in. You need to let them rest overnight, right? That's a key piece of it. Okay, so today, Trevin, how many briskets we got on today?
99.
We have 99 briskets on today, which is a Friday. Every Friday is gonna be in that range, 95 to 107 briskets that we're running right now, this time of the year. So we always have 2 pits just for briskets, and then Stella's gonna be your overflow pit, which is sausage in the morning, does that hard work in the morning, and then we can move some briskets to Stella if need be. Last year, we went through 210,000 pounds of brisket. That's a lot of brisket. It's a lot of brisket, especially when you're open 5 days a week. We got a couple, step 1 of our pork belly, right? So we take the pork belly, we cut it in halves, season it, we smoke it. We only bring that to 190. So we got some pork butts, fat cap is splitting. We do ours differently. So we cook ours in the pan. And that really is twofold. One fold, We don't like rendered fat dripping on another cut of meat. I know some people don't mind it. We don't like it. So we cook that in there for that reason, but also it collects all your jus, all your fat, all your nice jus. And what we do is then we wrap it, foil. Once it's done, we go 100% open. Right? We're not wrapping throughout. We're not taking to 160 and then wrapping in foil. So it'll go this whole way. Then we put foil over the top. It sits on our sheet pan, our speed rack here, until it comes down to the temperature we want, our resting temperature, 160. And then from there, it'll go right into our warmers inside. So this is our pork for Saturday service. And you'll see our wooden skewers. A lot of people ask what those skewers are. That's so we know which location they're going to the next day. We have Daisy. Daisy, a 500-gallon primitive pit on a trailer. So it's kind of our festival pit, a special event pit. What we have on Daisy today, let's come on in here. Running 250. We got our big ass beef ribs, right? The 3-bone plate ribs. Very hard to find this product up here in Virginia, the raw product. We have Angus, which is our Santa Maria grill, right? So what we do on here is we'll do barbecue chicken, we'll do reverse seared tomahawks, we'll do anything we want to do over live fire. We fire Angus up, our Santa Maria grill. You got to have all the toys. Wood, we're using a white oak. We don't get post oak up in here in Virginia. So our indigenous wood is going to be oak, and it's going to be white, it's going to be red. Larger pieces. These are later on the cook pieces. So we have a bunch of different wood racks. Different wood goes to different places. And when they bring it into the pit room, they'll bring a wheelbarrow in, they'll stack it inside. And throughout the day, you know, they're picking up, like, that's got this heft, that's got that heft. We have a chopper in there so we can break them down a little bit. I like, personally, softball, baseball sizes. Those are the two sizes I like. So fist or a little bit larger fist. So softball, baseball are my premier pieces if I could do it. This is our back of the house, right? I mean, I'll show it to you. Come on over here. Another wood rack. It looks like we're going to get a delivery maybe tomorrow or Monday of wood. We get a quart and a half of wood every 6 days. So we burn a lot of wood, a lot of wood. Grease. I hate the stuff. So this is your animal fat from your smokers and the fryers up front. We have a company that picks that up for us, and they turn it into biofuel. Another small wood rack. We have them all marked and labeled. A little clean out sink area. This is for anybody that's watching this that's maybe thinking about opening up a barbecue restaurant. It is a dirty, dirty, dirty job, right? So if you create something like this where you have 140 degree instant hot water, your carts, your speed racks, your dunnage racks, everything stays cleaner if you can clean it with hot water. So I would highly recommend investing and building out something like this. We can put a 6-foot wire shelf in here. I made it overboard size, and we hang our mats at the end of the night. We got these big hooks, we hang our mats. Diesel tank for our backup generator. You know, if you go down, and I know you guys out in Texas, right, big storms come through, you need that energy, the electricity. So this will power, our backup generator powers this entire 5,000 square foot building, from AC to every refrigerator, freezer we have. That generator does the job. So come on in here. We run this 40, 41 degrees. So we're slacking some ribs. We use only Prairie Fresh all natural ribs, spare ribs. Probably Monday's prep's worth. We're going about 80 racks of ribs a day. So that's that. These are our oxtails for next Friday. We cut our own oxtails so we get the full tail, and then we cut them ourselves with our meat bandsaw that we have. Over here, more ribs, right? Pork spare ribs. So this is further on in the week, and then we have our beers up there. So one of our walk-ins. We also have Bubba. Bubba is, like I said, back in the day, it was Bubba and it was Daisy. So 500-gallon offset in a Bewley 1100 extra wide. So We had them build this Bewley on this trailer enclosed because we did not have a pit room in my first location, right? So this was our pit room. We would run this all day. I'd stoke up that fire, load up some briskets, and I could go home and come back at 5 in the morning, and I would then wrap them and finish that brisket. So without this pit, I wouldn't have been able to start this venture. This was a big key to it because I was the pit master, I was the cutter, I was the inventory taker, I was all of it, right? So, but what we got on here, it's a Bewley, very well insulated refractory concrete firebox. And Bubba loves to run 300. 300 is the just sweet spot for this smoker. So what do we got on here? We have actually some more briskets. These first 4 are pastrami. I can tell because I can see the fresh ground coriander on there. So we have 4 pastramis on. Those are for tomorrow's service. And then we have some briskets. So top rack runs 3, middle rack will run about 260. And the ones with the skewers are going to go to another location. That's our Virginia Beach location. We don't use the dampering system anymore. We use the door as our damper. We like using the door as the damper. I want to control it the old school way. Beautiful, beautiful pit. If anybody needs a pit to start on that's a little bit more automated and a little bit more fuel efficient, right? Because it's a money saving thing. A Bewley is a great option. Highly recommend them. Great customer service, great people, and they do good work. I mean, this pit room, mobile pit room, has been great, and we kind of come on back here. Welcome to Smoketown. So this pit was in the parking lot of our other location. So when you pulled in to park, you saw this, right? Smoketown, and then you saw our pig up there. That pig's been up there for 7 years. It was a gift from my mother when we first opened. She had it mailed down to me, and we put it up there, and we haven't touched it since then. Actually, I had to move it when we moved the pits, but this is Welcome to Smoketown. Last but not least is the new addition. Again, sticking on brand. We love M&M. So this is our Texas Smoke King. All right, we haven't really named it yet. We haven't really done a whole lot with it. We've had it for a while, and I think we've done one cook, which is pork steaks. Not that I don't want to do more, but this was really bought so we can do tests and experiment. And the main reason was for our barbecue classes, which we haven't started yet. But great little backyard pit, 100-gallon, right? Some cool features that I see that they listen to maybe some of their customers. But you got this little system here. That's a really neat thing. We've tried all this sort of things with the one inside. We welded plates. We've done whatever. So that's a cool little thing. They have that same bottom and top heat diverter, and then over here, you know, we got the nice turnstile. Like I said, we haven't used much of it, but I have a lot of plans to use a lot of that. So I'm going to give you a little history of Redwood Smoke Shack. I was a food service director for a large hospitality company, and I oversaw a local university, Norfolk State University. I did that for 6 years. I opened up Chick-fil-A, I did Pizza Hut, I did all these different things with them. I learned all facets of this business. I got burnout, and I became a food broker for K-12 in the military. So I dealt with a lot of commodities, a lot of futures. I learned that part of it, the distributor part of it. During that time, I had a lot of free time, right? Because I didn't have to work weekends. I didn't have to work nights. I didn't have to work mornings. So what we did was I really dove into the beer brewing. And I'd have a lot of friends over. We'd be brewing a lot of beer. I was winning a lot of awards with my beer. And I bought a little Oklahoma Joe, a little tiny one on Craigslist for $60. It was one of the better Oklahoma Joes because it's really the old school one with the thick metal. I would make ribs and chicken wings and all this other stuff. So while we're brewing beer and drinking beer, we were eating good food. And it just kind of progressed from there. It went from that little smoker, more people started showing up, and before I know it turned into a party, and we were doing whole hog, we were doing luau's, and then I got my tax returns back in 2016, and I bought a Lang reverse flow on a trailer, only 30 minutes away. It was $2,000, brought it home, realized it was a whole different animal. And I had to buy a lot of meat just to practice. So I figured, well, if I'm going to practice, why not sell that meat? So we made up a name, we made up a menu, and we just backed it to the end of the driveway, and I cooked all Saturday, and we sold it Sunday to people in my neighborhood. And my girlfriend at the time, who was my lovely wife, she was a little hesitant on that, and she stuck with me, and we sold out in, I think, 4 hours. We did it again the following weekend, doubled the amount of product, sold out in half the time. And I think the light bulb kind of went off in her mind that, hey, this could actually be something. So it was never supposed to be a business, ever. It was just fun. And now we have 3 locations, we own this property, and we do hundreds of thousands of pounds of meat a year of just brisket. We got the meat wagon. This was our first delivery van. This one has been upgraded once we actually took over this property. We needed a larger van with like the real deal warmer and refrigerator. So Patrick Fegis, one of my good buddies, he bought a van. He gave me the contact of the company that he bought it from. So I reached out to him, and we had this van built. This van is our delivery van. Every morning, the driver gets here, they pull the pull sheets, all the fresh product that's sitting in our warmers inside. Virginia Beach and Norfolk goes here, and Suffolk stays here. So these first 2 doors are warming boxes. And then this last door is a refrigerator, and these are pass-through. So there's 3 doors on the other side too. Without this van, we wouldn't be able to operate how we operate, where we could basically cook in a commercial or central location, a commissary, if you would, central kitchen, and then we push it out. The same product we're eating up front today is the same product that the Norfolk location and the Virginia Beach location is eating too. So quality control is a lot easier when you don't piecemeal it and have, shout out to Brandon Hurtado and the Terry Black brothers. I don't know how they do it with so many locations and so many different people touching pits and product and prepping, and quality assurance is real hard once you get all those hands involved. So here we have a very small back of the house staff, and they prepare product for 3 locations. So we go through a lot of product here. And this van is a big part of that. So we'll come back here and we'll see how this all started. It started with just a folding table and a Lang smoker. And then I started looking on eBay for food trailers and said, hey, you know what? I have, X amount of dollars in my bank account. What can I do this? And I did the research, and I found this trailer up just north of Syracuse, New York, where I moved from back, in 2009. So it was kind of a 2 birds, 1 stone trip. I took my girlfriend up there, who is now my wife. We looked at it. We said, yes, we want to buy it. We hooked up to it in my buddy's truck and drove it 13 hours home. So this trailer now is in rough shape, right? But we don't use it. I haven't opened this up in 4 years. So we don't even open it up anymore. But inside, it's 2 lowboy refrigerators. It's got a flat top. It's got a 4-burner stove, and it's got the smoker. Remember what I was saying about the W? That's our smokestacks on the smoker with the rain caps. So I know it's not your traditional. This was mirrored after a Cadillac cooker. This was how I started. So I'd be out here in the middle of the night, working my normal 9 to 5, 5 days a week. And I'd be cooking all night on Friday just to serve all day on Saturday, to be able to clean up on Sunday and start my life over. I did that for 2.5 years until I made the decision of, I know how much money I can make here. I know how much money I'm getting paid in my real job. And I just did out the math. And I said, hey, if I operate 3 days a week, I could keep that same lifestyle. And we kind of found a location and took that jump. We did operate this for a year, and then our lovely friend COVID came along, so it kind of put the kibosh on a lot of the food truck events. And we would only go to breweries. We never went to festivals. That's just not festivals aren't our thing. I want to have that I want to be able to touch my customer and explain why we do things and how we do things. But beautiful little trailer, and it's all of about 10 foot by 8 foot. It's a very small. The back folds down, So that's kind of where we had a nice little stainless steel raised bar. We'd write all of our specials on that. We have a chalkboard paint on the back of this, and we'd serve from there. So a real, it's kind of a pain in the butt to get in and out of this thing too. And the older I get now, I'm just like, wow, I can't do that. But it still sits here just as a little memento, I guess. My wife's not allowing me to sell it. I don't know why. We're gonna show you our prep kitchen, and then we're gonna get behind the line, kind of show you how they do things for service. And then we're just gonna make up a platter. Right here is where I think the barbecue classroom is gonna be. This is a kitchen in this door. So I'm gonna have concrete here, a little wood rack, and we're gonna have a bunch of different smokers. I'm gonna have the Smoke King, I'm gonna get a Weber kettle, I'm gonna get a Traeger, because I wanna show people different ways to cook barbecue. And around here, not everybody has an offset smoker. Not everybody has the 12 hours or 14 hours to spend on a cut of meat. So I will show them other ways to get a good product. We got our dish room, right? It's a dish room. Everybody sees the same thing. We got a little dish machine, 3-bay sink. Come on over here. Welcome to our prep kitchen. So when we took over this property, we did 10 months of renovation. So all of our plumbing, all of our electrical, all of the walls, all of the floor, ceilings, everything's brand new. We've been here now 16 months. It's kind of organized chaos. Now we are Friday at 2:15. So remember, we're on the tail end of our week. We're open up on Saturday. Everything's already prepped and on for Saturday. So we're really just kind of on cruise control for the rest of the week. And then Monday, we'll come on back in, and my whole prep team will be here for 8 to 10 hours to get ready for Tuesday. So in here we have a 40-gallon steam jacketed kettle. We make all of our house barbecue sauce, boil our noodles, our potatoes for our potato salad, cheese sauce for our mac and cheese. We go through a lot of mac and cheese. We make it all fresh on stovetop. So we have a base sauce we make with Cooper Sharp, and then from there we add other things to it on the line. And of course, we got a double stack convection oven, right? Couple different stations here. Wall of clipboards. Catering. Catering is a big thing that we do. So we have different caterings, right? We have Suffolk catering, Norfolk catering, Virginia Beach catering. Our transfer logs. We got transfer log for Norfolk, transfer log for Virginia Beach. We got our cook log for the pits. Team prep list, back of the house temp logs, communication logs. So our specials are up here with all the descriptions of what we have for that. This is our meat prep table. So we'll have 2 people here, trimming briskets, ribs, getting everything ready. We have all our knives. We use Victorinox mainly, with some specialty knives that if they like the knife, they'll just go out and buy a knife. Dry storage, we go through so much product. We get a truck every day. So really nothing sits on our shelf for more than 2 days. So what comes in goes right back out immediately. So when I watch all these videos, guys, I'm just like you. I'm looking around. What is the secret they're not telling me? I always look at temperatures on warmers. That's my thing, because I'm like, oh, the hold is the best thing. So Alto shams, we bought these last year brand new, $26,000 with Alto shams. What we found out is if I want this to run 145, 150, I got to set them to 170, 173. It's just how it goes with this product. Come on over here to our catering board. We're starting to get to the tail end. We have some events tomorrow. One more event. Actually, that event's gone. It's 11 o'clock. So we have all these events tomorrow in our locations. But let's walk to our walk-in cooler. So we got some desserts, right? Key lime pie bars, and then our carrot cake. All this is front of the house. They're allowed to come up in this area. So we have our banana masu. We have our potato salad. We got some mac noodles. You know, we shave our own slaw. We like to do like 2-inch slices, so it's not minced. We make our own dressings, all our own sauces. Everything's day dotted, everything's rotated. It's the only way to go. Collards, smoked turkey collards. So we got our turkey ready to go in there tomorrow morning. These will go on the stove for 4 hours in the morning. We go through 6 cases of collards a day, and it probably lasts us about 2 hours, and they sell out. Back here is just all our protein, right? So we have sausages, corn pudding, beans, more slaw. So we got some catering, and then tallow. So this is trim, right? So we'll take this, we'll render this down for our beef tallow. So we have all these Lexans of tallow. Up here is this is lean trim. This is going to be our sausage trim, right? So we got lean, we have our mohawks, we got our fat to cut it in there. We use a Duroc belly for our pork belly burnt ends. I think we cooked every pork belly we could find, and we found that this one has the fat content and the consistency we're looking for our pork belly. Here's some pork belly chilling out. So what we do, multiple stage process, cooking this to about 190, pulling it, resting it overnight in the warmer, chilling it down the next day, cubing it up, and then glazing it every 15 minutes for 45 minutes until it brings it back up to temperature. And that is basically what I got out of the Interstellar. Like, it's the best way to do it. What do we got here? Ribs. So these are the ribs already seasoned and rubbed for tomorrow. So we will put all these on. What do we got? 135 ribs tomorrow. So my pit guys got a long day. Actually, no, Saturday's a good day. They come in at 3 a.m. They're out of here by about 11 o'clock once the pits are clean. Every Saturday we clean our pits. So now we're in the front of the house. We got the back line. We do smoked and fried wings. We make our mac and cheese. It's a creamy stovetop mac. This is our to-go area. We call this our expo. So all of our online orders get fired over to this one station. We look over here. We got our cutting board. So we have a cutter 1 plus a cutter assist. It's kind of our way to expedite it here. It gets kind of busy, so we need to move the line as quick as we can. We're just gonna look at a couple things here while we're right here. Look at these. These are our pork belly burn ends. Gucci Jane glaze, twice smoked pork belly burn ends. And what we do, we hit them with a little sesame seed and a little green onion, and that's what you get. Oxtails, nice and ooey gooey, right? Beef brisket. Nice bark. You need it? There you go, man. Taking people's products. We do utilize those mohawks. Remember, we use those for our burn ends. So here's our mohawk. They kind of look like a little bit of beef cheek. I mean, same process, right? What we're gonna do is cube these up and make burn ends out of them to order. We have a unique way of doing burn ends. We take those, we cube them up half pounds, we put them in a hot saute pan, start to get a little caramelization going on, and then we hit them with house barbecue sauce. What we're doing is we're flambeing them. We're changing the dynamic of that barbecue sauce. White cheddar mac and cheese. We got some rib glaze. We got some tallow. We got our house barbecue sauce. We call it chicken juice. It's our brining liquid. It's going to be apple juice and chicken fat, basically. And then our Gucci Jane glaze for our pork belly burn ends. Again, we just had our lunch rush. It's 2:20. People are still trickling in. Over here, we got our banana masu. We give samples of all this stuff. We got our cilantro coleslaw. And then over here, we got our red bliss potato salad. Pickles, pickled red onions, pickled jalapenos. We call them our pickle fixings. And then some shack sauce. Back in the food truck, I needed something that people could snack on. So what we did is we got these really large pickles. And we cold smoke them for about 3 hours. So it's a big dill pickle cold smoked. It's a very popular item. People love those things. And then we're right back here to the cashier. So that's kind of the run through a Redwood Smoke Shack. And I'm gonna start cooking some meat. Let's get it on.